The narrative surrounding Floyd Mayweather, once the untouchable icon of boxing and wealth, is unraveling. His carefully curated image as a financial titan, draped in diamonds and cash, is being questioned not just by critics but by those closest to him, including his own daughter, Yaya Mayweather, and sports analyst Shannon Sharpe. The whispers of financial trouble are growing louder, fueled by lawsuits, unpaid employees, and mounting debts. What was once a story of unparalleled success now feels like a cautionary tale about the fragility of wealth built on spectacle rather than stability. Floyd Mayweather's career is the stuff of legend. With an undefeated 50-0 record, he dominated boxing, turning fights into global events. His bouts against Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, and Conor McGregor didn't just make headlines, they made him hundreds of millions. Yaya Mayweather recently took to Instagram to celebrate her father's audacity, quoting him, "I bought myself out of my contract for $750,000 and then made $750 million from 3 fights. Those fights were monumental, cementing his reputation as the highest-earning athlete of his era, with career earnings reportedly exceeding $1.1 billion. But as Sharpe pointed out on Undisputed, it doesn't matter what you made, it matters what you kept." And that's where the cracks in Mayweather's empire begin to show. Sharpe's critique was biting. He called out Mayweather's paradoxical relationship with money, pointing to a history of financial missteps, including a $6 million IRS debt from years past. "You're on Instagram and Twitter flaunting your opulence," Sharpe said, his tone cutting through the boxer's carefully crafted persona. "You got bales and bales of money, big ballin', and you won't cut the people their money." This wasn't speculation, it was a direct challenge to the image Mayweather has spent decades building. Sharpe referenced boxing legends like Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson, who faced similar financial ruin despite their success, and even Mike Tyson, whose lavish spending led to bankruptcy. Mayweather, it seems, is following a familiar script. The latest scrutiny stems from Mayweather's attempt to delay payment on a 2015 tax bill, alongside reports of unpaid staff at his gyms and a collapsing business empire. Legal documents filed by Mayweather's team claim he has substantial assets, but they're restricted and primarily illiquid. His lawyers say a significant liquidity event is expected within 60 days to cover his debts, but the vagueness of the statement raises questions. What are these assets? Where is the money? And why, if Mayweather is as wealthy as he claims, is he struggling to pay what he owes? Yaya Mayweather's Instagram post added fuel to the fire. On the surface, her story about her father's $750,000 gamble to buy out his contract seemed like a flex, a nod to his business acumen. But the timing and tone felt off, as if she was inadvertently revealing a deeper truth. Floyd's wealth, she suggested, wasn't built on a stable foundation but on calculated risks, massive bets he placed on himself. He won those bets, fight after fight, but now that the ring is no longer his stage, the structure is shaking. To many, Mayweather never owned a financial machine. He was the machine, profitable only as long as he was fighting, flexing, and moving money like a high-stakes gambler. The rumors of financial trouble aren't new, but they're gaining traction. Reports suggest Mayweather's real estate investments, strip clubs, and car collection, symbols of his wealth, are part of a larger illusion. His lifestyle hasn't slowed down. He still flaunts cash stacks, travels like royalty, and boasts of 7-figure monthly investment returns. But where are these investments? Are they sustainable, or are they vanity ventures that crumble under scrutiny? Business Insider's investigation into Mayweather's claimed New York real estate empire found no trace of the over 100 buildings he boasted about on The Tonight Show. Public property records and housing authorities had no evidence of his purchases. The contradiction is glaring. Either Mayweather's claims are exaggerated, or his empire is so opaque it defies verification. Then there's the cryptocurrency venture. Mayweather's endorsement of a little-known Thai cryptocurrency, raised eyebrows. Offering Zoom classes, $100 giveaways, and even a WBC championship belt as prizes, the campaign felt desperate, not the move of a man secure in his wealth. Why would someone with hundreds of millions peddle unverified crypto schemes? Fans and critics alike see it as a sign of financial strain, a far cry from the boxer who once tossed money like confetti. The voices of discontent are growing louder, and they're coming from unexpected places. Employees at Mayweather's fitness gyms have begun sharing their stories, and the picture they paint is grim. Samaria Baldwin, a general manager at one of his gym locations, described a workplace riddled with broken promises and financial instability. I started working here in September 2023, and on my first day, the team was not employed, she said. I was fed lies from the beginning. We've lost everything. Coaches and staff echo her sentiments, describing unpaid wages, false promises, and the toll it's taken on their mental health. One coach recounted how his wife was hospitalized for stress and anxiety, their family buried under hospital bills and unpaid rent. It hurts your heart, he said, working for such a big-name company and not getting paid. These aren't isolated complaints. They point to a deeper rot within Mayweather's empire. When multiple employees describe similar experiences, months without pay, broken promises, and emotional devastation, it's not mismanagement, it's collapse. The contrast with Mayweather's public image couldn't be starker. This is a man who posts videos of himself counting millions, surrounded by luxury, yet his own employees can't afford basic necessities. The disconnect is damning, forcing a re-evaluation of the Mayweather brand. Even Mayweather's inner circle isn't immune to the fallout. Leonard Ellerbe, his longtime business partner and former CEO of Mayweather Promotions, is rumored to have leaked documents exposing Floyd's mounting debts. While these documents haven't been independently verified, they've added fuel to the fire. Then there's 50 Cent, Mayweather's former friend turned nemesis, who's been relentless in his mockery. Their feud, sparked in 2012 when 50 Cent claimed he invested $2 million in Mayweather Promotions only to be stiffed, has escalated. On Instagram, 50 Cent laughed off Mayweather's real estate claims, calling them cap and suggesting Floyd doesn't actually own the buildings he brags about. They beat him out of the money, he taunted. Coming from a rival, it could be dismissed as petty, but when paired with other reports, it carries weight. Boxing insider Rick Glazer added credibility to the rumors, tweeting that Mayweather's financial troubles are deeply rooted. Glazer's connections in the boxing world give his words heft, turning what might have been gossip into a serious conversation. Amir Khan, once a potential opponent, didn't hold back either. Karma's a bee, he said, framing Mayweather's struggles as the inevitable result of his arrogance. You can't throw money like that when there's poverty around the world. Khan's words weren't laced with pity but with judgment, a sentiment shared by many who've watched Mayweather's ostentatious displays over the years. The lawsuits are piling up too. A jeweler in Miami has filed a claim against Mayweather, and there are whispers he may need to sell assets to cover his debts. Logan Paul, who fought Mayweather in an exhibition match, has publicly claimed he still hasn't been paid. Floyd Mayweather's broke, Paul said, half joking but with an edge that suggests he believes it. These legal battles, combined with the employee complaints and public skepticism, paint a picture of a man whose financial house is crumbling. Mayweather's response to the scrutiny has been defiant but unconvincing. He continues to post about his wealth, sharing videos of cash stacks and luxury purchases. In one clip, he called his $20 bills wallpaper and bragged about a $1.8 million Arnold Schwarzenegger limited edition watch. But the flexes feel hollow, more performative than persuasive. If anything, they underscore the disconnect between his public persona and the reality emerging behind the scenes. A man truly secure in his wealth doesn't need to prove it so relentlessly. The irony is that Mayweather's financial troubles don't stem from a lack of earnings. He made more money than any athlete in history, but his spending was equally historic. Private jets, car collections, mansions, and high-stakes gambling bets, Mayweather lived like his wealth was infinite. Sharpe suggested the 2017 McGregor fight wasn't just about boxing supremacy but about settling scores with creditors. Floyd needed that payday, he said. It's a pattern. Mayweather fights when he's broke, not when he's flush. A source close to him reportedly said, Floyd only likes to fight when he's broke. If he has money, he doesn't want to fight. The exhibitions, the crypto endorsements, the real estate boasts, they all feel like attempts to keep the machine running, to plug the leaks in a sinking ship. What's most striking is how Mayweather's legend was built on risk, not stability. He bet on himself, time and again, and won. But those bets were never backed by a long-term plan. His empire wasn't a portfolio of diversified investments. It was a brand fueled by spectacle. When the fight stopped, the brand began to falter. Yaya's nostalgic Instagram post about her father's $750,000 gamble wasn't just a celebration of his boldness. It was a reminder that his wealth was always a high-wire act, one misstep away from collapse. The shift in perception is palpable. Fans who once idolized Mayweather as the embodiment of success now question his legacy. Peers like Khan and critics like Sharpe see his struggles as a reckoning. Employees who believed in the Mayweather name feel betrayed. Even 50 Cent, for all his pettiness, seems to have tapped into a broader truth. The money is gone, or at least it's not where Mayweather claims it is. The boxer's boasts of owning 99% of my buildings in New York, or earning millions monthly from investments are starting to sound like the desperate bravado of a man trying to outrun his debts. The question now is where this leads. Will Mayweather stage another comeback, another exhibition to settle his scores? Will he sell off assets, as some predict, to cover his debts? Or will the empire he built continue to crumble under the weight of its own excess? The documents, the lawsuits, the employee complaints, and the cryptic social media posts all point to a man whose legend is being redefined. Floyd Mayweather, once the king of pay-per-view, is no longer untouchable. The clock is ticking, and the world is watching to see if he can pull off one last win, or if the house of cards will finally fall.